Hi.
Oh my god! Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Amazing. Okay, hi guys. Welcome to Afternoon Tea with 𝒊𝒏𝒏 magazine. Welcome to episode 3. I am Ebony Louise Barrett, and I am joined by the amazing Rukiat today.
Hi.
Hi, Rukiat.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Do you want to talk about like how we met and what you do and your background and everything? Introduce yourself.
Okay, yeah. So my name is Rukiat. I guess I make content. I'm a YouTuber, TikToker, and also I work in marketing for full time. But how did we meet? We met through Amy, wasn't it?
Yeah, we met through Amy, who was on episode 2. Hopefully y'all should have checked that out before this video. If not, check it out after. My kawaii best friend Amy, when I was like setting up the launch, Amy reached out to me and told me about Rukiat and the work she does and how amazing she is and how we should invite you to the launch. And then from there, obviously, you came with your amazing friends. You guys looked the best, oh my god, so good. That night was amazing. And then from there, we've done like really cool projects. Can't say too much right now, but and that's how we've kind of become friends.
Yeah, that's how we met and stuff. We've just been talking ever since and trying to plan a meetup, a cute meetup.
A cute little meetup, cute little picnic date or something.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I love what Rukiat does. Like, she's such an inspiration, and just being able to talk about sex so freely as well. Definitely something I champion as well, and something that we're all human. We're part of this human experience. We should be obviously allowed to address that.
Exactly. But I think those are really important topics. Sexuality, gender, stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly, especially when it comes to like expressing yourself as well, and fashion as well, because obviously the two very much intersect. And Rukiat has an amazing YouTube channel that you guys should definitely check out as well, where she talks about so many topics from beauty standards to like the whole BBL, what's going on with that. And it's really cool, really cool. So how did you start talking about those kind of topics? What did you obviously you studied, but do you want to talk about your background a little bit?
So I actually started a sexual wellness company with two of my friends. And this was at the ending of 2017.
Oh wow.
And this was when we were on our sexual liberation journey. We started posting on Instagram and we built a following pretty fast. And then I left the company in 2018. And I started essentially being a sex educator on my own, continuing to create content around sex education. In the beginning, I was talking mainly about sexual health because I was very open about having herpes. And I've had herpes for many years now. And so talking about it really openly, it kind of garnered an audience, especially other women who had maybe felt a lot of stigma around having an STI like that, and just kind of spreading awareness on it. And then I continue to do that. I've done so many different things, whether it's coming on podcasts like this, public speaking, doing workshops. I was also working at a sexual health charity as well for
That's
2
cool.
years.
That's really cool.
And just different collaborations with brands and stuff. And I was nominated twice for my efforts.
Yes,
so
we love to see it.
With 3 different sexual health charities, NARS charity and Brooke and SH24, and the latter one I won in 2020. So it's just been, that has kind of been my journey. But then I studied sociology in 2019 and I literally just finished this year.
Congratulations.
So I'm so excited about that. And so my interest kind of became a lot more I guess in depth, a lot more specialized. And now like my final dissertation was to do with like the effects of like technology on Black women and their identities and bodies. And so for that I spoke to specifically alternative Black women who were in like the J fashion space and also in like the punk goth spaces as well. And so now I create a lot of content online. I've kind of moved away from sex education, but not completely. But now my content just really focuses on like gender, sexuality, digital cultures and stuff like that.
For sure.
And yeah, that's about it. I just make content part-time now. I'm kind of moved away from doing it as a full-time thing.
I feel that. It's a lot of work. It takes, I mean, obviously, like, we were, like, as we were setting up, we were like, oh my God, it's just so much work. Like, there's just so much adjusting, like, so much. Like, it takes a lot of patience and a lot of, like, But it's obviously so worth it. Like, it's so rewarding, especially, you know, gaining traction and having people respond and, seeing people's reactions and things like that. But today we're going to be talking about, let me get my notes up again. So we're going to be kind of talking about J fashion and how it kind of is a revolution in itself in the sense of destroying the male gaze and very much dressing for yourself, very much, you know, expressing yourself as you see fit rather than how other people see, how men see you, and how that doesn't really, I don't know, for me especially, like, I've never really seen my style through the male gaze ever, just because I've always been like, this is what I love, this is what I'm, like, drawn to, I just want to dress up for myself, rather than, like, you know, I want to dress like this to attract a certain individual, or, you know, and, you know, obviously some people may do that, and all power to them, but for me it's always been, like, very much like something like of escapism for me. What about yourself? Because obviously, you know, I know you like to dabble in J fashion and you like to like try different subcultures and I think for me as well, it was definitely an escapism, especially during like the pandemic, where we were at home a lot, and I actually came up with my own name for like my own kind of like aesthetic, just because like it just helps me personally in terms of like personal expression. I love that.
And so like my aesthetic or like lifestyle is like glam decora. So it's like it's decora, but it's like in a very like glamorous way. So lots of like accessories, typically that's what I would put on, and just really exaggerated and inspired by like different like kind of like J fashion and also like Rococo and stuff like that. That's like my main thing. And then the pandemic ended and it was time to go back to the real world, and I grappled with like wanting to be this glam decora fairy, but also like having to wear uniform and stuff like that, and not having anywhere to kind of like express the side of me.
I feel you.
And I almost gave up until recently this year, after speaking to like a lot of like women in the J fashion community. I realized that just because I'm in the real world, I don't have to like give up that part of me, and it can still be expressed casually, even if it's like not even through fashion. It could just be through interests, it could be my my surroundings, like different ways it can be expressed. I don't have to look dressed up to the nines every day for me to express that kind of like interest.
It's not the reality. Like for me, like, you know, I don't look like this every day. I spoke about it with Amy as well. Like most of the time I'm just in a cute little snuddy, like in my comfort clothes, but like even if I can still express like my love of cuteness through that, like just by wearing clothes that are like not necessarily like super what's the word, like super decorated or super adorned, but just like colours and textures, and still having that and being like, oh, like this is still part of me without all the effort of putting on makeup and doing your hair and choosing an outfit, which is so fun, but it does take a lot of energy, especially like if you're struggling with your mental health, or you know you're working full time, or you've got other things going on. Like it's nice to incorporate it in different ways. Yeah,
like even if it's just like little accessories, or if maybe it's like the bag that you're wearing, or it's like the colour, like recently I've been wearing like a lot more pink to work as well. I'm just like, at least this is like a small way that, because obviously it's like work and whatnot, and you don't really want to like dress up. It's just a casual day. But like little things like that, you know. And this is why I say like I need to go out more, meet up with other girls that are like quite similar, just to kind of like have those moments where I do get to dress up how I want to. But that's been my journey with it.
I love that. Like, it's so inspiring to hear, especially from, you know, a fellow black woman who loves alternative fashion. Like, there's obviously so much more like room to be, you know, explore and to talk about, but like it's just so nice to share these experiences and find ways to like express our culture and our heritage, but also like be true to ourselves.
Exactly.
And, it's so nice. But the topic today is a bit darker, but like we'll ease into it. So like it was good that we were talking about like makeup and stuff like that as well. I feel that, you know, when I go to work, I don't even really wear makeup anymore, to be honest.
I don't wear makeup.
I can't be arsed. Like, it's just so long.
I'd rather use that extra time to, like, sleep. I think the last time I put on a full face was probably months ago.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Like, I used to wear, like, today I wear, like, foundation and stuff, but, like, I used to wear so much and it used to just feel so heavy and so, like, just by the end of the day, you're just, like, scrubbing at your face, like, I just want to get this off. Like, obviously, you know, don't just put it on for other people. Put it on for myself to feel good, to feel like beautiful. But it is a lot of effort, and like just sitting down and just like, you know, we both have ADHD as well, and just having to, And
I like it to be a bit more of like a ritual, like something that I step into. Like there's a difference, you know, between who I am. Because I've had those moments where like I don't wear makeup, especially when I worked somewhere where there was like guys. And I never wore makeup, and there's one time where like it was my birthday week and I was like, I want to wear makeup, I want to do my hair properly, and I did it, and then there was one guy, like he must have turned around and he was like he was literally like completely like shocked because he's never seen me. No, I mean I thought it was I'm like
like y'all ain't never seen lipstick before, like god damn shit.
No, but I meant it in a good way.
I know, sorry.
But he was like, wow, like then he even messaged me like I think he messaged me that evening because I finished work early, like at 3 p.m. He messaged me tonight like, oh, I just want to let you know that you looked so beautiful today, and I was like
For God's sake.
Like, I like that difference though. I like how there's like a transformation.
The energy.
Because I don't wear makeup every day, so I know that when I do put it on, people notice like there's a change.
Which is a good thing in that sense. Like that's really nice. But it's just annoying when people like they'll respond to you in like a way like, oh my god, you're wearing makeup. Like
it's like, oh, now I notice you fully. Oh, like they fully like as a fully realized person.
Exactly. Like back in the day when I was like 17, 18, I used to wear like makeup every day, like not just to work. Like even if I was at home, I just wasn't comfortable in my skin. I would just have to wear makeup every day.
Really?
But that didn't last long.
Yeah.
Because it was just so uncomfortable, and I would just be sat there like, why did I do this? Like, why? And now I'm just like, comfies for the win. Like, unless I'm obviously going out or an event or something or this, like, obviously love dressing up, but within reason.
Exactly.
You know? But, we're going to talk about kind of the male gaze within J fashion and the kind of feminism that is, you know, rooted behind Lolita fashion specifically. I did a lot of research for my dissertation 2 years ago, something like that. And I kind of spoke about, oh my god, the title was so long. The title was like 4 lines. What was it? No, I have it on my Instagram. Wait, you keep talking, I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, my title was The Black Cyborg Woman, exploring the relationship between Black women, between technology and Black women's bodies and identities in the age of social media.
I love that. Yeah. How long was it?
Oh, it was 8,000 words.
Yeah. Mine was... I ended up writing 15,000 words.
Oh my god, and you had to cut it down.
Mission. I don't know why I did that to myself. I don't know why I did that to myself. But like, I just had so much to say that I was just so excited, and then I looked at the word count.
Especially when it gets to the discussion part, and you're like, "Ooh, this and that." I had to cut down a lot as well, and it was cool by the end. But I'm so glad that I got to do it in something that I actually am passionate about, and
that's
I really have an interest in.
Yeah, that's nice that you had the freedom to be able to do that, because I know, like, for some courses, students are very like, you know, you have to write about this, or you have to like make sure that it comes across in this way, or you know. I'm still trying to find my so far back.
But yeah, it was. I got first for it as well.
Yes, me too.
Oh, lovely,
we love to see it. Yes,
that's how it should be.
Honestly. As it should be. Oh my god, I think I found it. Oh no, it's here somewhere. It's within like this area of posts. Oh my god, yeah, here. Because I took a picture of. Did I take a picture?
I need to print mine out and take a picture.
Where is it? Why can I not find it? It's going to annoy me because I was so proud of the title. Look. Where is it?
Oh my god, I love that wig.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm just like going through Instagram. But it was, maybe I have it on my Mac. I'm even going to search for it now because why not? Dissertation. Has it come up? Oh yes, here we go.
Oh.
So the front cover will have the title on when it loads. Yeah, the effects of beauty standards upon the opportunistic sexualization that arises from cuteness and hyperfemininity represented in girls' subculture.
Wow.
Yeah. It was really cool. I spoke about like gaming. I spoke about like Japan and like J fashion as well. I need to acquaint myself with what I even said, because it was a while ago. But I was really proud of it, and it did take a lot of it took a lot of concentration and so much research.
Hella research as well.
Hella research. Wait, if I open it, please open. Okay. Oh my god, can my phone not? No, it's Amy.
But I was proud of like the work that I put into it. You know?
No, me too, because it was a different level of research. Having to like go that deep. Google Scholar.
Oh, that was my best friend.
Same. Oh yeah, so here we go. So chapter 1, beauty is a transaction whether one can afford it or not. So I was looking at the beauty myth, and oh my god, there was another book as well that I referenced, and there was the problematic similarities between cuteness and sexiness. I was talking about that. That's when I spoke about Japan a little bit, and about how like, did
you do primary research?
I did. I think I did. Yeah. And then
the literature review was like the bane of my existence.
Oh, bitch.
It was so long. So you were allowed to do it in this colour as well. Oh my god.
Like we could fully go in. Oh my god, what did I write here? Youth signifies a lack of experience, in particular, making young women more impressionable. Agreement Isabel addressed how men that partook in sexist jokes were more inclined to defend rape myth acceptance.
Wow.
This just adds to the danger of fraternity culture and shows how societies welcome the toxic masculine attitude. Yeah. So I was speaking about toxic masculinity, and then my favourite part, I was talking about Twiggy here and like body standards.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you could include pictures.
Yeah, we could include pictures. What's it about here? Comment on the front there, message. Yeah, talking about like how women constantly catering to the man, or how it appears that way. Like make him yours, like all of that. And then I spoke about anime, and how like anime characters are very sexualized in the sense that they appear so cute, like the facial features, like the big eyes, and
and they always have big boobs.
Yes, and there's so much like focus on like the
jiggling of the boobs, like sometimes it's just like, come on.
No, literally, like the jiggle, it's enough. It's enough.
It's so perverted.
It's so perverted, but that's the thing, like it's in such subtle ways.
Yeah.
And it's only if you like truly like watch anime, or if you know like, or even like just watch like Miyazaki movies, for example, that you see not even that, because that's more wholesome, but like through anime, you see how like men add these like
little
very
bits, very subtle,
just not like very unnecessary, to the point where it's just like even just the shots up girls' skirts, or like, you know, the super tiny mini skirts and things like that.
It's very much through the male gaze.
Oh, very much so. But yeah, and then I was talking about Lolita fashion and how that does not cater towards the male gaze, and how, because obviously with Lolita fashion, as you guys probably know, it is so covered, and like so many elements of the body are not shown, like because you're wearing gloves and the big petticoat dresses and tights and shoes and, you know, the headdresses. It's very like modest, but not in a sense of I want to dress modest, just in a sense of I want to feel like a princess. Yeah, you know, exactly, which is what I love about it.
And that's the thing, like I actually kind of grapple with well, I feel like recently I've been grappling with I guess J fashion, in the sense that a lot of it is for the female gaze, and sometimes I want to dress for the male gaze.
I get that.
Because sometimes I'm like, if I see my ex, I want to look good. And I don't want him to look at me and think, what are you wearing? But at the same time, this is how I want to express myself.
That's the thing.
And it's just a bit of like a conundrum in my head. So
I get you. It's hard. That's the thing. Like, I find dating really difficult with like dressing differently. Like, especially because I'm pan. Like, I get a lot of male attention, but getting female attention is so difficult. Because, you know, I've spoken to girls about it, and some of them say like, oh, maybe they're intimidated by like how aware you are of your sense of style and things like that. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm still like, you know, like that doesn't affect my personality, like hardly. I'm still very, you know, down to earth, whatever. But
usually I find that this kind of dressing is what would actually attract female gaze.
You know, that's the thing.
That's when the girls will be like, oh my god, she's amazing, I'm gonna talk to her, blah blah blah. So I'm quite surprised about that.
It's few and far between, I'll say that. Like, I do have, you know, I went on my first queer date the other day.
Oh, lovely.
And that was really wholesome. But like it was so nice because it didn't even feel like a date. It just felt like two girls hanging out. And like, I was speaking to my friend Gianluca yesterday, actually, last night, and I was saying, when I've dated men in the past, I've always felt like it's felt so sexually charged, in the sense that we've gone into it like, okay,
like
we know, you know, like, whereas with women, from what I've experienced so far, it's very much like, oh, we're actually just getting to know each other and getting in the rhythms of each other and understanding each other.
Do you think you're going to see it again?
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. Oh my god, I don't know if I'm going to include this. I'm scared. No, we have a second date planned. She's really sweet. Oh my god. Hi, if you're there.
That's so cute. Oh my god.
She's really lovely. I'm very, very happy. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
so nice. It's not the same kind of like, you know, this is a date and we might go back to yours and have sex after this.
Exactly. It's very much not that. Like, literally, we went to a park and just smoked and had a picnic, and it was the best time, and it was just so relaxed, and like there was just no pressure. And it's so nice going into it like that, because I don't know, even my previous relationship with my ex was so fast. Like, we went from barely knowing each other to being boyfriend and girlfriend within a month.
Oh my god, yeah, that happens. All of my relationships have been like that. All of my relationships have been, we're together within a month, and I don't know why it moves so fast.
That's the thing. I'm like, I get it, because it's like there's that excitement of like, oh my god, like meeting someone new, and you know, like that kind of, you know, if you're bouncing off of each other, it's cool. But at the end of the day, it's scary, because it's like, okay, well, we're now going to regularly see each other, and we've now like not obviously signed a contract, but we've now said to each other, okay, you're this to me, you're this to me. Now we have to, you know, abide by that. And there's a lot of pressure. You know?
That's what I found as well. And I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, a part of me does like going into things pretty fast and knowing what this is, like very quickly, like rather than like, I wouldn't want to be in the talking stage for more than 2 months. I think after that, it's like, okay, where is this going?
I'm the same. I get impatient.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, I remember all of my exes has been within, like, 2 weeks.
Yeah, so quick.
Even, like, my last ex, it was like, we met at the gym.
Yeah.
God, if he sees this, he sees this. But we met at the gym.
Yes.
Then we met the next day.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days after that, like,
yeah.
you know, he came around to mine and we had sex, and he's
Yeah.
like, so like, are you my girlfriend or what? And
Oh,
I'm just like,
bruh, really? I offered it up and it was that quick. It was that quick.
I was just like, okay, I guess.
Like, that's the thing. You don't know what to say. What you meant to say in that situation.
Exactly. So
Like,
that was like the shit. But that was like within a week.
Yeah.
When I think about it, it was actually within a week.
yeah. That's the thing. But I'm such like a hopeless romantic. Like I get
Me as well.
I get so caught up in it. So if someone does show me attention, I'll be like, okay,
Yeah,
like.
exactly.
You know, like, I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. With my previous relationships, which were both with men, yeah, felt very sexually charged and very like just, okay, this is what couples do, I guess. Like, we're just adhering to whatever society does. And now I'm in this mindset of wanting to just completely escape the matrix completely and just be completely like, not off the grid, but just like not like pay attention to whatever society is, you know, trying to enforce.
You know, like I was saying off camera, like I've already made peace with the idea that I might just be single
Yeah.
for my life.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously I do desire to meet someone and
Sorry. no, it's fine. Just,
I do desire to meet someone and,
Yeah.
you know, potentially settle down and start a life. But if that doesn't happen, I'm also fine with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because,
like just
yeah, I just feel like dating men specifically, it's just really a challenge. And
it is.
they honestly, a lot of times they scare me. So
It's scary that we just have to fear for our safety so much as women, in the sense that, like, I mean, even the little things like coming home late and just texting your friends, be like, you know, let me know when you get home safe and all of that. Like, you know, I'm very grateful for my friend Gianluca, shout out to you. And I know it's like, obviously we were talking about like, it's the bare minimum for men to just be nice and just to be, you know, courteous towards women and whatever, but he's so caring, and, you know, he'll walk me back to the station if it's late, and like he'll make sure, he'll be like, text me when you get home and all of that. And it's so nice to get that same energy from a man as well as women, because it's like, oh my god, you get it. Like, it's so nice to actually have someone that obviously you don't share that experience with, but that validates your experience by making sure you're okay. Which is, yeah, it's really nice.
Sweet,
yeah, and I hope that you find a nice man.
Honestly,
I really do.
I honestly hope so as well. But it's just dating apps and just dating in general. It's just been a real struggle.
It has. It is. No, I'm the same. Like, I've only recently come back into the dating game, and I'm still like, still mortified. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, and I'll just delete the apps like within a day of getting them. Like, I'm just
just winging it
on it. That's the best way to do it though, because as soon as you start to put expectation on it, is when you get your heart broken.
Exactly.
And you have to protect your energy and protect your heart.
Yeah.
Especially like for us, you know, we dress differently, and when we express ourselves, we just have to be very protective of what we can offer someone else, you know.
Exactly.
Because so many people are just normies and just don't do anything. You know.
And another thing as well that I've said as well, in terms of like dressing and stuff, is this is something that I'm obviously like still working on, is that I want my identity to be so secure in terms of like my gender presentation, and that's like fashion, mainly like how I dress and just the kind of things that I'm into, and just my lifestyle. I want my identity to be so secure that if a man comes into my life, like he can't shift that. Because I was looking at, because one of my favorite artists is Scarlord, and he's like a rapper, like trap metal, like that's what he does.
Oh, cool.
And I look at him and I'm just like, your identity is so secure, in a sense that like he has like this kind of like his fashion is like tech wear.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, cool.
And he's like all black, and it's like
very like cargos and like military,
and it's
kind
like
of,
like really utilitarian. And like even like his home, like when we've seen like glimpses of it, it's also that aesthetic. And I'm like, and he has a girlfriend as well, and I'm like, she's kind of like adapted to his style.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah, but I'm like, but that's the thing. If I was to, like, for example, if I was to meet a guy like that who has like a completely like dark style, I don't want to feel as if I have to adjust to his identity. I want my identity to be so secure that it's like I can be this and he can be that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you. You both can like just coexist in your own world.
Exactly. Rather than he I mean, I don't mind the guy like adapting to me, but it's like that's how secure I want my identity to be.
As it should be. Like, I completely get that. Like, I've had it before where I've had to like compromise my style for men, and it's not the one. I don't want to do it. Like, it's not worth it. Like, my first relationship, my ex said to me, like, I remember I was wearing these really cute cat ears, and we were in like North London, like near Hertfordshire, and he was like, you should take those off. And I'm like, why? He's like, oh, because, you know, people around here, they're not like that, like, you know. And I'm like, well, what's that supposed to mean? Like, no one in the world is like this. Like, everyone is, we're all, you know, living on the what's the word, like, on the suburbs of society. I feel like, you know, like, you don't see people like us. Like, even at my launch, like, it was such a big thing to see so many people
in one space
under one roof. Like, you never see that.
It was overwhelming. Literally, in the best way. But yeah, for him to say that, I was like, wow. But back then, low self-esteem, didn't know my worth. I was just like, But looking back, I'm like, what? As I was saying, is that you're very certain and sure in like your style and very like consistent. So I just know already that like if anyone was to walk into your life now, they will either have to adapt to you or, like you said, you have to bounce.
You gotta bounce or adapt. It's as simple as that.
Exactly.
No, that's the thing. Thank you for saying that, huh?
Yeah, honestly.
It's taken me a while, honestly, to get to this point, to be honest, because like I started dressing kawaii beginning of uni, foundation year, so probably like 5-6 years ago now. And like even then I was so baby, like I didn't know anything. Like I was still, you know, tying in so many references and trying to like be lots of different things at the same time. And then I was like, because at first I was very much in this mindset of I have to be one style. I can't, you know, I can't love Lolita fashion and love like Fairy K. I can't love, and it's like, no, like it shouldn't have to be that way. Like it should just be a fluid thing of, oh, you know, I love these two things, like I can, you know, incorporate them both within my style without fearing people being like, well, that's not Lolita or because it's not about that. Like J fashion started because of self-expression and being who you want to be, and like I feel like now that I've truly learned the art of not giving a fuck,
there's a book called that, actually.
I haven't read it. I should read it. But I've truly learned it now, so now I'm just like, yeah, the people who want to stay can stay, the people who leave can leave, you know. Like I love that. we're not playing like this game anymore of it's just long. It's just long.
That's great.
But yeah, oh my god, let me look at my notes. So yeah, we were talking about dating and stuff, so I guess we could talk about like dating within Japan, and what I've kind of researched and learned about it as well. I know that in Japan, obviously dating is very different. I was talking to you about this like off the record as well, and we were saying like how it's almost like men don't know how to approach women in Japan, in the sense that it's how do I word it? Like that they consume women, and they'll consume like porn or whatever, or sex and stuff like that, but the actual relationships, like it's hard to sustain that and find that. Like the birth rates in Japan are really low. I was telling Rukiat, like there are towns and cities that are just barren. All the schools have been shut down, playgrounds closed, because like babies just aren't being born because men and women aren't getting together, which is really sad, considering like the very, very hard work culture they have over there that is just non-stop. Like obviously we were saying, go to work, drink, get fall asleep outside a pub, and then go back to work the next day. Like
Like,
it's wild.
That's one thing that I'll say, like, just from like an outsider's perspective, because obviously, like, I'm not Japanese and I don't live within the culture.
Yeah.
But one thing that I do notice is that it seems to be quite a difficult kind of like society to live in, and I think that's in all capitalist societies. Like, here it's really difficult, but I think there, when you mix it with you know, they're kind of like traditional kind of like beliefs on like society, in terms of like, I'm so sorry if I'm not pronouncing this correctly, but like Confucianism. Like, when you mix those things together, capitalism and that other aspect, it really does brew something else. What
is Confucianism?
I think it's like a kind of like a, maybe like a traditional kind of like philosophy or like religion, or kind of like belief that they've that has existed within them for like a long time, like before capitalism existed. And so I think that's what makes Japanese, this is based on like videos that I've watched from people who are from there, but that's what makes it quite a difficult society to live in, because there's this whole idea with like following like the status quo and you know, not wanting to stray from that. And I feel like when you live in such a difficult society like that, it has like really negative effects as well, and that's why you have like hikikomori, you know, shut-ins, basically people who they don't go outside, they don't have a job, they just stay at home, they're either on their computer all day or they're like watching TV. The only time they ever venture outside is if they have to go to the supermarket or they have to go and do something that they have to be outside. But for the most part, they stay in. And I really do understand it, because it's like, sometimes, you know, other people will say that, oh, you're weak, you're this, you're that. But to me, like, when society is so difficult, like, I understand why people just be like, you know what, I just don't want to, I don't want to participate in this anymore. I don't want to be a contributing member of society. I just want to be with myself. And I just want to completely be off the grid. And so I feel like, when you have stuff like that going on, you know, I feel like it does affect things like dating and just how people socialize, like just as normal, regular people.
No, definitely, because it's so interesting. Even the social culture out there is so different. Like, I mean, just the way they view women, the treatment towards women, treatment towards black women, treatment towards black people. Like, being black in Japan, you know, you're going to get looks, like, you're going to get stared at. And it's not even, from what I've researched anyway, it's not even out of, like, malice or hate. It's out of curiosity. It's more so a thing of, oh, we don't really see black people in Japan. There's a black person in Japan. And it's like, it's just weird, because they're not a third world country. Like, they have all of these resources. They have anime, they have TV, they have news, they have media. So they know, you know,
they're super advanced.
They're literally advanced, like, to the next level. So it's just insane that they're so advanced when it comes to, like, I guess, the technological aspect. But when it comes to the society aspect, there are still so many things that are just so archaic and so.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I would I mean, I'd love to visit, but I think I'd be a bit scared to live. I mean, that's with anywhere anyways, because I've grown up here in the UK for so long, and there's obviously racism here, and there's all different kinds of things here, but it's like venturing off into like a new kind of like environment. I'm really scared. It's better the devil you know than the devil you don't know.
I get you.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I understand. It's a beast to just understand. It's something else to...
Plus,
I get you.
I don't know if there's any kind of like sexual repression or anything like that with like the...
Definitely.
In terms of like how women are like viewed and stuff, and
definitely.
The age, I think the age
of consent.
The age of consent is 13, which is wow.
Insane.
Yeah, I just oh my god, I can't imagine like 13-year-olds like just doing whatever, like,
it's just insane.
Under the law.
Like,
even in my country, actually, in Nigeria, there was like this whole thing of them wanting to decrease the legal age of consent as well to 13.
What? But with what consent? You're a child.
Exactly.
You are a child.
That's the thing that people don't realise, is that the age of consent, it isn't to stop, you know, it's nothing to do with older people, in a sense that we know that there are some times where a 14-year-old can maybe end up with like a 16-year-old. We know that that can happen, but realistically the reason why the age of consent exists is to protect children.
Exactly.
Because it's very easy. Exactly. It's very easy to be groomed. It's very easy to be kind of like misled. It's very easy to fall victim to those kind of things. And so that's why it's there. It's to protect them. And like, I feel like at 13 I find it difficult to believe that they truly know what consent means.
Exactly.
And they can truly make an informed decision about sex.
That's the thing. Like, even, you know, Japan is obviously notorious for its maid cafes and having, you know, lots of underage girls, just like 15, 16-year-old girls, just in maid uniforms in these cafes, and just old gross men will just go there and just spend time with these girls. And apparently, like, from what I've watched and stuff, like, the cafes are very, like, they try to be as protective of the girls as possible. Like, they try to, you know, obviously deter any sexual activity, all of that. They try to just keep it, even though it's already, like, you know, verging on the lines. But obviously that is not going to stop the men who have gone there for that to then proposition these girls outside of the cafes. And
oh my god, maid cafes, there's a lot of underage girls there. As in, what do you mean, like 12 years old? Like,
I think it was like majority like 14 to 16-year-olds. And like, obviously it's super short skirts. Like, they would just be serving men drinks, like sitting next to them, keeping them company. And it's just like, but you walk into these cafes and you don't see families, you don't see other girls, you just see men.
Oh my god.
Like, it's disgusting.
Oh my god.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
And but then, like, they would be considered to be legal.
Exactly, that's the thing. And over here, obviously, could never, like, that would never fly over here. But
I mean, people get criticised even if they're having sex with 18-year-olds.
Yeah, that's the thing. But like you were saying about the sexual repression, I mean, there's so many, like, sex doll, like, museums in Japan where people can go and have sex with these dolls, or they can literally, like, they can go there and buy, like, old used underwear and just...
That is crazy.
And so many of these dolls resemble children.
Yeah, the height and everything of the dolls. Yeah, the height
and even the face. Like, these dolls, like, are meant to look undeveloped to resemble children, that these men can literally... I could go far into it. Like, there's so, like, from...
You see, that's the thing with sex dolls. I'm kind of like in two minds of it.
Yeah.
I'm not completely against them, because I have done a bit of research on them, and I'm not completely against them because I understand that loneliness and stuff like that. But then it's like, also there's this aspect of, like, objectification. It's like when you really only truly see women as objects, that you are more willing to, like, people who actually have relationships with, like, sex dolls, you're more willing to have a relationship with a full-on object than a real human woman.
That's the thing.
It just makes me question that person who is having that kind of relationship, how they truly feel towards women, whether they actually really respect women, or whether they see them as more than just something to objectify, you know?
Exactly that. Like, it just perpetuates this idea of you're literally, like, seeking this kind of love and appreciation from an inanimate object that you can literally overpower and cannot say no, you know, does not have, like, these same, like, nuances.
Just do what you want to it.
Whatever you want, which is terrifying. I mean, I'm the same as you. I'm in two minds. Like, I understand, like, loneliness and all of that, but when it comes to, like, literally using your power to overpower, like, something else, not even someone else, it's like...
It's like, why are you with this doll? Is it because it can't say no?
Yeah.
Because it can't, it can't, like, stand up for itself, because obviously it's not a living thing.
Yeah.
You know, so you can just do whatever you want with it. You can just kind of, like, you can just do what you want, and there's no kind of, like, repercussion or anything like that. So that's why I just kind of, like, question a lot of people who engage in, like, sex talk. I know there's a huge community.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stigma around it, but at the same time, I kind of understand why there's a lot of stigma.
Yeah, no, for real.
And then it's like, if like, this is going off on a tangent, but if sex dolls or like sex robots were to ever be able to think,
consciousness,
exactly, that opens up another can of worms in terms of like exploitation. Like,
exactly,
is this going to be okay just because they're robots?
Yeah, literally. You know? But then if it does get to that point of we've given them this human, like this experience that they can feel, they are sentient beings, and then these men have just been like programmed to think, okay, this doll is just for sex, but then that doll can then think and breathe and has its own dreams, and that's
and then
scary.
what does that mean for them in terms of like ethics and stuff?
Exactly.
So
it's scary, but again, with that whole world, like even I will blur out the word, but you know, men. I was telling Rukiat about how in, I think it was Tokyo, I watched this documentary. It was Stacey Solomon, and she went to Japan. She was talking to the police department about their rates of people. And they were saying that, you know, they'd caught like about 500 people in the past like year or 2 years or something like that, and they were bragging about it, being like, oh my god, it's so great, like look at us. And it's like, it's not okay. It's not okay. Like that's just showing what an issue you have with the control in that aspect. Like there are free roaming men who obviously are into that, and they can.
They're going below 13.
Yeah. And there are some bookshops that still sell child. Yeah. God. That's the thing. It's fucked. And to think it all comes out of a place that loves cute things. Exactly. You know, it's just insane. Like the There's a dark side. There's a dark side to everywhere, to be honest. There is.
But like, that is really, really, really scary.
Especially to Japan. I just think it's so important as someone who loves J fashion and who loves Japan and is so obsessed with, you know, everything it stands for. Like, I need to know, like, you know, what is actually going on in that country as well. I can't just be like, oh, it's all sunshine and rainbows. It's
and
like,
just romanticize it.
You can't be ignorant, especially with this, because there are so many, like, there's so much going on within it, you know? And the J fashion element is just, pure escapism, but that doesn't take away from the injustices that are still going on, you know? Yeah. But it's good to educate yourself for sure, because it's a whole different world, basically. A whole different world. But oh my god, should we wrap it up?
Okay then,
So that has been episode 3 of After Duty with Bonbon Magazine. Bit of a darker one, but let me know what you guys think of this kind of format, of these kind of conversations. You know, like, as much as Bonbon is a safe space for us, you know, it's important that we speak about these things as well, and are, you know, aware of what's going on within the community and within, you know, the community within Japan itself. And I just think it's really interesting. But let me know what other topics you guys would like to hear from me, and thank you so much to Rukiat for coming on. It has been such a blessing, and please follow Rukiat. I will put all her socials and everything, and go and support her because she's amazing, and we need more women like you. And
thank you.
I'm just it just makes me so happy to have this platform to be able to speak about these things.
Definitely.
But bye guys, thank you so much. Bye.
And I want to talk to Ebony. So Ebony, you go by Bonbon.
Yes.
And you have a Bonbon magazine.
Yeah.
So tell us about this magazine and what is it about?
Perfect. So Bonbon is a Japanese fashion magazine for lovers of kawaii who can't access it as much, like over here, because we're in the West, of course. So it allows it to make it more accessible, not just for, you know, for minorities as well, for seeing black and brown people in kawaii fashion. Like, I feel that's so powerful. So it's just about spreading that message that everyone can be kawaii, you know?
Yes, that's so wonderful. And so what would you like your readers to take from this magazine?
So honestly, you know, I always create from the heart, so I just want the readers to know that, you know, like, this is a safe space for us, we can express ourselves, it's a sanctuary, you know, like, all of us can exist in the same space and not feel isolated.